Today is June. You know what? I don't fucking care. I really fucking don't. I've redone this video so many goddamn times. I don't even know how many times I've gone through and redone it. It originally started this morning as an update video on stuff, but then as the day has gone on, I find it has devolved into the rant and random thoughts category. Now, if you don't know what a rant and random thoughts video is, there's always copious amount of swearing as I complain about the stupidity of other fucking people, and of which there seems to be boundless amounts of it in my comments section and on international politics. We'll hold off on the international politics stuff till the end. We'll first start off with over here on YouTube and BitChute and the stupidity of people there, which granted are primarily trolls. But I want to point out some of the stupidity I've had to deal with this weekend. Oh, and if you find that one of these is referencing you, you will find that you are banned from leaving comments. You can type out a comment and press send, but the only person that will see it is you. No one else will. And how you can check to confirm that is log out, and about an hour later after you've left your comment, try viewing that video outside your account on YouTube. Check the comment section and you're going to find your comments not there. I've banned your ass. So fuck you. So first let's start off with the videos I did over the weekend. Well, Saturday I did a video on the 250th birthday of the U.S. Army. That's a really important event. Now I know with some of you people who have the attention span of a goldfish, where you think anything that lasts longer than the time it takes to microwave your burrito is like forever, you know, you probably just can't comprehend how important 250 years is. Well, to those of us that served in the military, served in U.S. Army, you know, that's pretty important to us that we've been able to maintain the mission for 250 years and this country is still here. Is it as free as it should be? Fuck no. You know, has the U.S. military been used properly the entire time in 250 years? Fuck no. But the country's still here. And at least the government pays lip service to the U.S. Constitution, even though every person in it, from Mr. Cheeto Head down to the local clerk at your county who makes you pay exorbitant fees for a fucking permit that really you shouldn't need, you know, believes that the Constitution is essentially just toilet paper and they wipe their ass with it on a regular basis and then tell us how important the Constitution is. And that they're upholding it as their shit is literally sliding off of it. Now, am I drinking right now? Yes, I am. It's just generic soda. It's not alcohol. I'm doing that to keep my throat clear and keep it from drying out as I rant on here. Now, on that video, I had people commenting things like, why are you wasting your time covering this? Get back to your normal subject matters. Other comments were, why are you covering this colonialist organization? Well, guess what, hippie? You're banned, and as far as I'm concerned, you can fuck off. So fuck you, walk out that door over there, don't let it hit you in the ass on the way out because I don't want to disinfect the doorknob after it hits that disease-infected crack of yours. So start walking, don't turn around, make sure to unstub, go the fuck away. $250 years is one hell of a fucking milestone. And I really hope that the U.S. Army still has the same mission 250 years from now. That they're still defending this Constitution. And hopefully by that point, the Constitution will be revered once again and taught in schools so that the little idiots that are coming up through the school actually understand what it says more than, you know, it was ratified on this date and that's all they need to know. Now, another video I did this last weekend on Sunday, I did an after-action review of the No Kings protest I and a few others went to and we did Overwatch on. Now, we did that because we were expecting shenanigans. Let's just cut to the chase. We were expecting a mass casualty event because this particular protest was being held in a town that votes 90% Republican. It's in a rural area. And for some reason, liberals, leftists, socialists, communists, and illegal aliens decided they needed to hold a rally in this town. They needed to have a protest. So we started talking that things don't feel right. Something might be getting set up here so that they could blame this community and the people of this community as being haters and so on and so forth, and killed so many innocent people. So we went there, we provided overwatch, we stayed in communications with each other, and luckily nothing happened. What did we expect would happen? Well, we thought there could be a mass shooter. We thought the possibility of an IED going off, or the possibility of someone coming through in a truck or an SUV would plow down some of the protesters, especially young kids, and then they would say on how the vehicle had a Trump flag on back or something like that. This is MAGA extremism. Luckily, nothing occurred. And I posted, the information on that, my firsthand experience, so that maybe you could learn something from it. That maybe your group could potentially do the same thing if you end up with a protest inside your community. That if it does start to go bad, they start attacking people, they start burning businesses, well, you're there to provide a response probably before the local police department is. Well, I had comments being left, stuff like, I didn't know you were socialist and you were there to protect a bunch of communists. Yeah, you'll find your band. I had someone else do a comment on, if your channel's going to be doing political content, you're not doing very good. You need to say now if that's the direction your channel's going so I can unsubscribe. You need to just stick to what you know, not cover this drivel. You need to start teaching people how to kill other people and making bombs. Well, you'll find your band too, dickhead. So, what does this channel cover? First off, I want to point out it is a militia channel. It is not a gear review channel. It is not a prepping channel. It is not a cooking channel. It's not a gun tube channel. This is a militia channel. And I teach subjects and things that a resistance fighter should know. I cover such areas as fieldcraft, engineer battle drills. I show some of the equipment engineers should have to be able to accomplish their missions. Occasionally, I will point out a piece of gear on the surplus market or something that I find in the hunting/outdoors market that could be useful to a resistant soldier. I also cover logistics and point out the importance of logistics even to resistance organizations, because if you can't feed your people, you can't supply them ammunition, you can't provide first aid items to help them when they're injured, you can't replace wore out gear, wore out uniforms, your organization's not going to last very long. The whole logistics plan of I'm going to supply myself only off the enemy and everything off the enemy, yeah, you're going to be starving within about a week or two at most. And then after that, you're probably going to turn bandit. And I like to point out that warfare is not like a video game. It's not like Halo. It's not like Call of Duty or Tarkov or any of those other fucking games that are out there. So you don't become a better fighter or a better soldier by having more expensive equipment. It doesn't matter how expensive that optic is, who the manufacturer of that rifle is. It doesn't matter how expensive those gadgets are that you slap to the side of the rifle. It doesn't matter how many tubes are in your night vision that you have with you. It doesn't matter. Having expensive gear that looks like it's used by the Navy SEALs doesn't make you a Navy SEAL. Especially if you're fat and overweight, you can't even do 10 fucking push-ups or run a quarter of a mile, let alone toss a ruck on your back and ruck for a single mile. You won't be a Navy SEAL no matter how much money you spend. Now, did I just shit in your mouth and telling you to swallow it? Yes, I am. Make sure to swallow every last bit of it and then come back, sit down, shut the fuck up, and watch more of the video here. I also do videos sometimes on recipes that you can do inside a mess kit or a canteen cup. I do that to point out that you don't only need to stock up on MREs and prepackaged rations. You can literally take something that's considered obsolete, like a mess kit and a campfire, and you can take some basic ingredients and you can whip up a home-cooked meal that will fill you up and keep you going on the battlefield. And that it's not that difficult to do. Hopefully you're getting that point by now if you've been watching those videos, that's why I'm doing it. And hopefully you're learning a few things, so if you find yourself in a survival situation or a resistance situation, it doesn't matter if you run out of MREs as long as you can get a hold of a few basic items. You can still keep eating. Another video I do is on Ordinance. And I do this to show resistance fighters what the stuff is so you can recognize it and potentially, if you remember from the video, how to employ it against that enemy force, whether it's an invader or a police state that's trying to kill you. Now, I do get comments from explosive ordnance disposal, bomb squads, and deminers thanking me on some of those videos because I point out information that they couldn't get from their instructors or find anywhere else. You're welcome. But, that video really is kind of focused more towards the resistance fighters so that you can recognize it and you can be able to tell the difference between a smoke grenade and a fragmentation grenade. You can tell the difference between an anti-personnel mine and an anti-tank mine. Two different purposes. And it's also showing the resistance soldier, maybe giving them an idea on how they can use that ordnance if they happen to get a hold of it off the international arms black market, which we've seen, especially with Ukraine. Huge stockpiles of that stuff has ended up on the market, which I'm sure has driven the prices down with the amount of it that's probably been flooded in there over the past 3 years. But the stuff's floating around out there, and if a resistance conflict happens, the chance of you coming across it one way or another is pretty fucking high. So maybe you should know how to use it, or at least recognize it and understand the danger of it. So, what's the next thing that I should cover here? Oh, let's go into about a post that I did yesterday. Now, I did a little post over on Telegram and I copy and pasted it over to YouTube on Tuesday. And I did this because of the stupidity at the highest levels of the U.S. government. I will read this posting to you. And if you have a problem with it, fuck off. The door's over there. See your ass out. Everyone on this channel, even the law enforcement and intel people who monitor it, if the USA bombs Iran, you better start planning and preparing for a nuclear exchange. Take it serious because you won't have long. When Putin or Winnie the Ping tells Trump to stop or there will be consequences, you need to put those plans into action. If it means bugging out, do it. If it means maxing the credit cards, buying as much shelf-stable food, canned goods, cases of water, cases of juice, do it. If it means cleaning everything out of that 1950s bomb shelter and doing repairs, do it. Because when that threat happens, The clock is counting. Iran has defense treaties with Russia and China, and they will stop us with nukes on our soil. The USA has no supplies inside the old public bomb shelters, no air filtration units in them. No one has been assigned to run them in almost 40 years. You are on your own. The clock will be ticking down, and at the end, cities will disappear in blinding flashes. Now, I've had some people tell me that, oh, nuclear weapons are so much more powerful now, there's nothing you can do to protect yourself. Those 1950 bomb shelters were designed to protect against weapons in kilotons, not megatons. There's no surviving this. Actually, there is. And if there is a difference between a fallout shelter and a bomb shelter, if you don't know that, maybe you should get the fuck off of my channel and go learn that and then come back here and finish the video. And believe it or not, a 1950s bomb shelter will be better than, say, a plywood floor on your home as the only separation between you and the radiation coming in from outside from fallout that's been collecting on your windows, your outside walls, and on your roof. There's actually a book called Nuclear War Survival Skills. I recommend you go out and read it. Find the newest edition that you can online. And you know what? The newest edition can be found online for free in PDF form. Go download it. Read the son of a bitch. And take it into consideration. Now, I've had other people tell me I'm stupid, that the defense treaty between Russia and Iran means absolutely nothing. All it is that Iran will supply equipment to Russia, and that's all. Russia is in no obligation to protect Iran. Well, that's what you would think if the only source you have for information on that is CNN, MSNBC, NBC, ABC, CBS, Fox News, Newsmax, Sky News, BBC, or any of the other fucking propaganda networks in NATO or in North America. Now, according to the media out of Russia when this treaty was signed, I know because I was monitoring it at that time, the Russian media specifically said in there that under the treaty that Russia agreed to support Iran if they were attacked, especially by the United States. And if it was the United States, they would use any means necessary with the equipment they have available to them to stop American aggression. Now, I know some idiots right now are going to say, well, Israel's attacking right now and Russia hasn't done anything. Actually, Russia has been telling Israel to stop or there's going to be consequences. But you probably haven't been hearing that because, they haven't been talking about that on CNN or Fox News. It's on foreign media, not necessarily out of Iran. I wouldn't trust their media for shit. But it's on the international news that they've been sending those warnings to Israel. And something I find funny, why is it you people that keep talking about how the Jews, they run the world, Fichael, you're so willing to back Israel when they attack Iran? You're fucking hypocrites. You really fucking are. Now, why does this whole situation piss me off? Well, what did Trump say when he was running for office? Oh, there's not going to be there will be no more new wars. I will end the fighting in Gaza. I will end the fighting in Ukraine. I'll do it within the first week. Well, we're well past the first week. The fighting's still going on in both locations. And Trump hasn't done shit to stop either conflict and hasn't stopped the delivery of weapons or money to either source. Hell, we've fucking seen with Doge, Elon Musk would find $1 billion in fraud. And then Trump would announce that and then talk about he was going to send $1 billion aid package to Israel that same day. And it's like, wait, what now? Okay, you're literally using accounting shenanigans, which they did before when they took that money out of whatever program it was meant for and then diverted it for something else. And then Musk found the fraud going on with that money. You're literally doing the same thing and shifting that money from, instead of going to pork barrel spending in the United States, you're shipping it to fucking Israel. At least with the pork barrel spending, the money was staying in the U.S., for Christ's sakes. You're sending it off to what, a country that's supposed to be the richest country in the Middle fucking East. Now, someone asked me here about a month ago, you know, how can the war in Gaza between Israel and Hamas end? And I told them, oh, it's real simple. If we stop sending money and weapons to the richest country in the Middle East and made them pay for the stuff they got from us out of their own pocketbooks, that war will end within 24 hours. But it's not going to end. Why, you may ask? Why won't the war end? Well, it's not that Israel wants to wipe out every Arab in the Middle East. I'm sure there's quite a few people that believe that. But the reason this war is going on is because of Netanyahu. And for you idiots who may not have missed this because you were, holding up Israeli flags in 2023 and now you've changed to free Palestine. The whole war started on October 7th, 2023, literally the day after the Israeli Congress had done a session talking about they should remove Netanyahu from power because of a corruption scandal and he should be put on trial and sent to prison for the rest of his life. And then, oh my God, magically the next day, oh, Hamas has just attacked Israel. This is the worst thing ever. We have to back our greatest ally, Israel. Give them everything they want to defend themselves against Hamas. Was what happened to them tragic? Yes. And I pointed out when it happened too that let's not overlook the fact that the Israeli government is just as much a terrorist organization as Hamas or Hezbollah or Islamic Jihad or Al-Qaeda or ISIS or any of those other groups in the Middle East. They're just as much a terrorist organization, and that should be really fucking obvious now as they've pretty much leveled Gaza and killed as many people as they could in there. And then they talk about how they're going to displace the Gazans and send them to the United States. They were going to send them to Egypt, and Egypt said, go fuck yourself. If you send them our direction, we're going to attack you. That's why no Gazans are going into Egypt. The Egyptian army's literally stationed across the border there, bumper to bumper and boot to boot, going all the way across the southern edge of Gaza to prevent anyone from coming in because they know, hey, these people are going to be problems. So does that mean Israel is right in what they're doing in Gaza? Fuck no. Killing women and children is never right. Never is. But you know what? The actions of Hamas are just as bad, killing Israeli women and children, blowing up school buses full of young kids on their way to kindergarten. Yes, Hamas does that too. So does Israel. Hell, you had it this morning where the Israeli military was doing overwatch on a food distribution in Gaza. Women were coming out to get food for the kids. And what did the Israeli military do? They lit up those mothers as they were getting the food, fired a few rounds from tanks and opened up on machine guns and started hosing them down. That is a fucking terrorist act. Just as much as going into Israel, killing a mother and father and then taking a baby, putting them in the oven and setting it for 350 degrees for an hour. That's a terrorist act too. Now, because of that little action with Gaza, Israel's fight for survival against a terrorist organization, it evolved into, well, now we have to go into Lebanon for reasons. And then it turned into, we got to go into Syria for reasons. And now this week it's turned into, oh, we have to attack Iran for reasons. Just so that Netanyahu and his cronies can keep from getting identified in court and potentially going to prison for the rest of their fucking lives when the Israeli population finds out just how bad the corruption was and how deep it went into the Israeli government. If you think Netanyahu is the only corrupt politician in the Israeli government, you're a fucking moron. The Israeli government is just as corrupt as the U.S. government. It's corrupt from top to fucking bottom. Honest people don't go into government. And if they do, they don't stay honest for very long. If they do try to stay honest, they usually end up dead. Fuck. So you have Israel that attacked Iran unprovoked. This expands the war. This keeps Netanyahu in power, keeps him out of prison. And then what does he do? He says that, oh, Iran's on the ropes. United States, we need your help to come in and take them out. Now, the official reason, according to the media, when they started bombing a few days ago, was this was being done to stop Iran from developing a nuclear weapon. And I want to point out for you idiots who don't know history, Netanyahu for 30 fucking years, since the 1990s, has been coming to the United States saying, Iran is about ready to build a nuclear weapon. They have enough fissionable material. They'll be able to produce a viable atomic bomb within 6 months. It's very likely that within a year, you will see mushroom clouds appearing over Tel Aviv in Israel. He's been saying that for 30 fucking years. Oh, it's only weeks till it happens. It's only months till it happens. 30 fucking years later, Iran still doesn't have a nuclear weapon. If they did have one, holy shit, they'd be using it now. If they had fissionable material, they would have made a fucking dirty bomb and fired that bitch into fucking Tel Aviv by this point. Let's be serious here. Now, people also completely look over that when Tulsi Gabbard was asked about this in March, you know, the head, she's the DNI, Director of National Intelligence, means she's in charge of all the intelligence agencies in the U.S. government. She was questioned on where was Iran in the process of producing nuclear weapons. And in March, she stated that the program has been frozen for years. They have not developed it any further. And where they were, reportedly in like 2003, 2006, or somewhere around there, they had enriched some uranium up to 60%. Well, uranium has to be enriched up to 90% pure for it to be weapons grade. 60% pure, you can use it in a nuclear reactor. It won't be the greatest, but it'll work. So, the Director of National Intelligence has been telling Trump there is no program that is active at this time. And then you have Netanyahu coming in, no, seriously, they're going to complete a weapon within 2 weeks. I promise you, you need to get in there, you need to destroy Tehran right now. We need regime change in Iran. Well, I thought you were bombing Iran in order to stop their nuclear weapons program, and now you're saying, as of yesterday at a press conference, this whole operation is about regime change in Iran. Well, how the fuck are you going to get a regime change by just bombing them from the sky? That takes troops on the ground. Well, Israel can't send troops from Israel to Iran. I guarantee if they try sending cargo aircraft and dropping paratroopers, they'll get fucking shot down on the way. Someone will fucking take out those aircraft. So what's the only other option? Oh, get the United States military to do it. The United States military can do landings in Iran. We can send Marines up on the beaches. We can drop paratroopers. And then we can start bringing in aircraft and landing ships to drop conventional army troops so that the Iranian government can be taken care of, so that Netanyahu can get regime change in Iran and he can finally have peace in the Middle East, which I'm sure if it ever comes close to that, he's going to find a brand new enemy somewhere that's going to continue the emergency so that he can still prevent being arrested, taken to court, and sent to prison for the rest of his fucking life. And Trump is falling for it. He was asked, what was it, this morning or yesterday, about, hey, you know, Tulsi Gabbard said that there is no nuclear weapons program. And his response was, well, I don't care what Tulsi has to say. I believe that they do have a weapons program. I believe that they're going to produce a weapon at any time now. So we have to stop that program at this time. Thank you. Goodbye. I'm going off to have my caviar and Diet Coke. Fuck. So that brings it down to Mr. Mushroom Cloud. Do you really think the Russians are just going to sit back and say forever, you know what? Don't cross this line. If you cross this line, we're going to attack. And then we keep crossing that line. They keep making a new one. You think they're going to do that forever? Seriously, are you that fucking stupid? If you are that fucking stupid, leave my channel and go sub to Young Turks. Because that's your level of intelligence. Go over there. That's what the Ukrainians thought with Russia. From 2014 to 2022, and then they went, oh shit, as Russian tanks start rolling across their fucking border. The male population of Ukraine has pretty much been wiped out, but you don't hear that from the Western media. What you hear from the Western media is Ukraine is about to win any day now, and they're going to be rolling into Moscow tomorrow, and then Putin's going to be put on war crimes trials. In actuality, what's happening on the battlefield is the Ukrainian troops are falling back 15 to 20 kilometers per fucking day. They're getting pushed back everywhere along their front lines, especially in eastern Ukraine. They're losing massive amounts of territory right now. The Russians are steamrolling them. Their front lines are collapsing. They outright have said they don't have the troops, they don't have the weapons, they don't have the ammunition, they can't stop the Russians. The troops on the battlefield want peace while there's still a chunk of country left. But the oligarchs in the government are still addicted to that money and stuff coming from the West. They don't want the war to end because it's money, 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 money flowing into their bank accounts, setting them up for life. And we got pretty much the same thing going on in Israel. I'm willing to bet it's a safe fucking bet. A huge chunk of that money that was sent to Gaza to help rebuild the area, or money sent to help the Israeli population who've suffered from the terrorist attacks, I'm willing to bet a good chunk of that has disappeared into politicians' bank accounts. And I have no doubt that Bibi has a nice bank account somewhere, you know, just from that money alone, either in Switzerland or Jamaica or somewhere. And, you know, if it ever does look like the war is going to end, he's going to fucking disappear and you'll never get him extradited back to Israel. And wherever he goes, he'll be protected by U.S. politicians. Because if they don't protect him, then he's going to release some of that intel that Epstein got him on which ones are pedophiles. To include potentially Mr. Cheeto Head in the White House. Maybe, did it ever occur to you that maybe Musk was right on that? Maybe there was a bit more involvement between Trump and Epstein than what we've been led to believe. Oh, he rode on Epstein's plane multiple times just because, you know, Trump 1 wasn't working. Ah, sure. Right. You knew the fucker was a pedophile. You know, it wasn't an open secret. And you still rode with him on his plane how many times? You know, didn't it occur to you that that girl that was bringing your cocktail in just a G-string and a bra, you know, that maybe she was 14 years old? Fuck's sakes. Is Don a pedo? I don't know, and the only way to clear his name is, I don't know, how about release the fucking Epstein Files? Enough of this fucking waiting. There's been plenty of time. You don't have to show us the videos. How about you release the fucking files? You've had more than enough time now to redact names. Release the files. And not just the stuff that's already been released. Come on, let's see it. Do it. Prove you're not in there. Release the files. Oh no, we can't do that. It's going to implicate politicians that we don't want to implicate and send them to jail. What? Like Bill fucking Clinton? It's going to implicate fucking Bill Gates? Prince Andrew out of fucking Britain? Some of these people we've known about for fucking decades, for Christ's sakes. Release the fucking files. Do that just to prove you're not the pedophile that Musk says you are. The way that you keep holding back on releasing the files, I suspect your name is in there, you fucking Cheeto-headed motherfucker. Everything that you told us you were going to do when we put you into office, you have not done. Has the NFA been repealed? No. Are you keeping us out of future wars that we don't deserve to be in? No, because you made the decision that you're going to start bombing fucking Iran soon. Have you ended the war in Ukraine? No. Have you ended the war in Gaza? No. Are you stopping the money flowing to Israel or to Ukraine or any other country? No, you haven't. Have you cut the size of government? No, you haven't. Oh, but what about USAID? What about USAID? They're probably on paid fucking vacation until Congress passes a fucking law stating that the organization has been dissolved. Fuck's sakes, people. I will say that it's better to be in America right now under Trump than it would have been under Harris and Waltz. Let's be serious. If Harris had won and she took over in January and we'd be hearing the cackling witch every fucking day, by this point, inflation would probably be 10 times worse what it was under Biden. The Constitution would not exist because they would have cut huge chunks out of it, rammed it through Congress in the name of public safety. Just like communists always do. Take away your God-given rights in the name of public safety. Patriots, conservatives, Republicans would be hunted down left and right in the name of public safety to remove potential violent extremists from our population to keep our children safe. You would be rounded up. You would be in jail now, if not literally inside a ditch with a couple feet of earth over the top of you. Trump bought us time. I hope you're not wasting this time. It should be pretty fucking obvious now he's not the patriot we were told. He's not the patriot that he was painted to be, that he portrayed himself as. He is no fucking different than any other politician in Washington. He is getting us into foreign wars that we have no reason being a part of. Why the fuck should we be involved in the feud between Israel and Iran? None whatsoever. No fucking reason, but we're going to be involved in it. Fuck, there was supposed to be an address from the president last night, Tuesday night, announcing to America that we were going to war. But there was such a fucking uproar on social media as people found it out. They said that, well, we're putting a cap on press conferences and any other releases for the rest of the evening. Trump hasn't officially decided that we're going to war, but it is one of the options he's considering. Yeah, well, reportedly, after he got done with that meeting with the National Security Council yesterday, the ones that have wanted Israel to be attacked, they were fucking high-fiving each other as they were going out the door, and then the word came out within an hour in independent media that the decision had been made, we're going to start bombing Iran. We're just moving more aircraft carriers into the area now, moving more aircraft into the area, bombers and fighters, to get ready to start our part of the campaign. You know, we're going to get handed it off from Israel. Oh, I had some son of a bitch tell me, well, there's no reason for the U.S. to get involved because Iran is losing the war badly. They're going to be defeated any moment. No, they're not. Right now, it's a war of attrition between Iran and Israel. The question is, who's going to run out of missiles first? Is Israel going to run out of surface-to-air missiles, air defense weapons, before the Iranians run out of missiles? Or are the Iranians going to run out of launchers before Israel runs out of air defense ordnance? For those of you that aren't aware of this, more and more missiles are penetrating Israeli air defense every day because they are running out of missiles to fire to take out the Iranian missiles. You've had actual experts in defense topics in the media over the past 24, 48 hours pointing out that Iran has a stated inventory of ballistic missiles greater than the rest of the Middle East combined. Their only weakness is the number of launchers. They're losing launchers every day, but it still comes down to who's going to run out first in the war of attrition. Is Israel going to run out of air defense systems protecting against those missiles? Or is Iran going to run out of launchers first? And what are we doing? We're coming in there saying, Israel, we're on the way to defend you. We're not defending Israel. We're going in there to defend Netanyahu so he can stay out of prison longer. Now, if you think that I'm anti-Israel, anti-Jew, neo-Nazi, you guys can fuck off too, right next to the fucking democratic socialists. Communists, Nazis, there ain't no fucking difference between the two of you. You're the exact fucking same. You're two halves of the same fucking coin. You're both authoritarian. Your leaders have both praised Karl Marx. Yes, Hitler praised Karl Marx. Look it up, dumbass. Hitler praised Karl Marx and really said that National Socialism is from his teachings. And then you have communists and socialists and Marxists and Maoists and fucking Trotskyites and whatever else you want to call yourself. You're all fucking communists. You go back and talk about how, you trace yourself back to Karl Marx also. So both of you are authoritarian pieces of shit who want to be the dickhead in charge just so that your flavor of socialism is proven to be the correct flavor of socialism, even though for over 100 fucking years it's been proven that socialism is a fucking failure and just results in starvation and death. You're both fucking idiots. You're both fucking delusional, and you're both fucking getting your information as to this is true socialism or this is true National Socialism. You're getting your information from fucking memes, not from actually reading source materials, you fucking morons. Fuck. You know what? Fuck you. Just fuck you. If you want to stick around on my channel, go ahead. I don't fucking care. But if you're a socialist of any type, fuck off. If you're a goddamn Zionist, you believe, Israel can do no wrong, fuck off. If you believe the Palestinians can do no wrong because they're just defending themselves, fuck off. If you believe Slava Ukraine, fuck off. You believe Slava Russia, fuck off. Kiss my fucking ass, walk out the fucking door. I care about the United fucking States. I care about restoring the Constitution. And quite frankly, I'm getting to a point where I'm ready to start saying, you know what? Fuck Mr. Cheeto Man, let's get it on. I'm getting that fucking close. Because he's showing us he ain't no fucking different than any of the motherfuckers before him. Even shit staying 44 or Sleepy Joe fucking 46. Ain't no fucking difference. Ain't no fucking difference between him and fucking Slick Willie in the fucking 1990s. Or fucking W after 9/11. Ain't no fucking difference. We were fucking lied to. Wake the fuck up, smell the fucking coffee, or I'm going to take a shit in it and pour it down your fucking throat. Have fun.